North Korea is a country shrouded in secrecy. Its borders are tightly controlled and its people live under constant surveillance. The world outside knows very little about what truly happens within this isolated nation. It is known as the Hermit Kingdom for a reason. The country remains cut off from the rest of the world with limited access to outside information and influences. This isolation has allowed the regime to maintain a tight grip on its citizens. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, as it is officially called, is ruled by an iron fist. The government, led by the Kim dynasty, exercises absolute control over every aspect of life. From the grand military parades to the omnipresent statues of past leaders, the regime's power is on full display. Kim Jong-un, the current supreme leader, holds absolute power. His leadership is marked by a cult of personality, where his image is revered and his words are treated as law. He commands the military, the government, and the lives of the North Korean people with an iron grip. He controls every aspect of life for his citizens. From the propaganda that fills the streets to the mandatory political rallies, every element of daily life is designed to reinforce the regime's ideology. Even in workplaces and schools, the influence of the state is inescapable. For North Koreans, escape seems impossible. The borders are heavily fortified, with barbed wire fences and armed guards patrolling day and night. The risk of being caught is high, and the consequences are severe. The regime enforces strict control over its people. Surveillance is ubiquitous, with cameras and informants ensuring that no one steps out of line. Citizens are subject to random searches and interrogations, creating an atmosphere of constant fear and suspicion. Leaving the country without permission is unthinkable. The borders are not just physical barriers but also psychological ones, instilling a sense of hopelessness in those who dream of freedom. The idea of escape is fraught with danger and uncertainty. Those who try face unimaginable consequences. The regime's punishment for attempted escape is harsh and unforgiving. Prison camps, torture, and even execution await those who dare to defy the state's control. The fear of retribution keeps many from even considering the possibility of escape. The world knows little about daily life inside North Korea. Information is tightly controlled, with state-run media broadcasting only what the regime wants its people to see and hear. The internet is heavily monitored, and access to outside information is severely restricted. However, stories from defectors paint a grim picture. Those who have managed to escape share harrowing tales of oppression, poverty, and fear. Their testimonies provide a rare glimpse into the harsh realities of life under the regime. They speak of oppression, poverty, and fear. The economic situation in North Korea is dire, with many citizens struggling to survive. Food shortages, inadequate health care, and poor living conditions are common, painting a bleak picture of daily life. This essay will delve into the harsh realities of North Korea. We will explore the daily struggles faced by its citizens, the methods of control employed by the regime, and the stories of those who have risked everything to escape. We will examine the near impossibility of escape, the physical and psychological barriers that keep North Koreans trapped within their own country will be laid bare, revealing the extent of the regime's control. The regime's methods of control will be laid bare. From surveillance and indoctrination to military checkpoints and propaganda, we will uncover the tools used to maintain the regime's iron grip on its people. Prepare to be shocked by the stories of those who dared to dream of freedom. Their courage and resilience in the face of unimaginable odds offer a powerful testament to the human spirit's desire for liberty. In North Korea, Big Brother is always watching. The government has created a vast surveillance network. It reaches every corner of society. Citizens are constantly monitored. This ensures obedience and crushes any dissent. Government officials are stationed everywhere. They keep a close eye on people's activities. Neighbors are encouraged to spy on each other. Even family members are pressured to report any suspicious behavior. Suspicion and mistrust permeate everyday life. People live in fear of saying or doing the wrong thing. One careless word could have dire consequences. The government's reach extends into the privacy of people's homes. This constant surveillance creates a climate of fear and paranoia. It effectively silences any opposition to the regime. North Koreans are trapped in a web of control. Fear is a powerful weapon. The North Korean government wields it masterfully. From a young age, citizens are indoctrinated with propaganda. They are taught to revere their leaders and distrust the outside world. Self-criticism sessions are a regular part of life. Individuals are forced to confess their shortcomings. They must also criticize others, including family and friends. This creates a culture of fear and mistrust. failure to conform has severe consequences. Punishment is swift and brutal. Those who question the regime disappear. They are sent to labor camps, where conditions are horrific. The threat of collective punishment hangs over everyone. If one person escapes, their entire family can be punished. This fear keeps people trapped. They are afraid to challenge the system, even if it means living in misery. North Korea is a land of barriers, both physical and psychological. The country is shrouded in secrecy and isolation, making it one of the most enigmatic places on Earth. The country is heavily guarded. Escape seems almost impossible. The regime maintains a tight grip on its citizens, with surveillance and control mechanisms in place to prevent any dissent or defection. The Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, separates North and South Korea. This strip of land is a stark reminder of the ongoing conflict and tension between the two nations. It is one of the most heavily fortified borders in the world. The DMZ is not just a physical barrier but also a symbol of the ideological divide that has persisted for decades. The DMZ is a 2.5-mile-wide buffer zone. This no-man's land is filled with landmines and other obstacles designed to prevent any unauthorized crossings. It is lined with barbed wire fences, minefields, and watchtowers. The area is a constant reminder of the fragile peace that exists on the Korean peninsula. Armed guards patrol the border day and night. Their presence is a deterrent to anyone considering an escape. They shoot on sight anyone who attempts to cross. The risk of death is ever present for those who dare to defy the regime. The border with China offers a slightly less daunting prospect. However, it is still fraught with challenges and dangers. But even there, escape is fraught with danger. The rivers are treacherous, and the journey is perilous. The Yalu and Tumen rivers separate the two countries. These natural barriers are difficult to navigate, especially during harsh weather conditions. They freeze over in winter, making them slightly easier to cross. However, the freezing temperatures pose their own set of risks. However, the Chinese government has become increasingly strict. They have ramped up their efforts to prevent North Korean refugees from entering their territory. They are cracking down on North Korean refugees. The Chinese authorities are vigilant and often collaborate with North Korean officials. Those caught are often repatriated. The fate of these individuals is grim, as they face severe punishment upon their return. They face certain punishment back in North Korea. The regime does not tolerate defection, and those who are caught are subjected to harsh penalties, including imprisonment and forced labor. Section 5. The Price of Freedom. For those who dare to dream of freedom, the price is high. It is a price paid not just in currency, but in the very essence of human spirit and resilience. Escaping North Korea is a perilous journey. It is a path fraught with unimaginable risks and challenges, where every step could be the last. It is fraught with danger at every turn. The dense forests and treacherous terrains are patrolled by vigilant guards, ever ready to capture those who dare to flee. Many who attempt it do not survive. The memorials and abandoned shoes stand as silent witnesses to the countless lives lost in the quest for freedom. Those who do escape often leave behind everything they hold dear. The heart-wrenching goodbyes, the small bags packed with the barest essentials, tell stories of immense sacrifice. Family, friends, and possessions are all left behind. The remnants of their past lives, like family photos and personal items, are scattered in abandoned homes. The emotional toll is immense. The tears shed in solitude, the faces streaked with sorrow, reflect the deep emotional scars that freedom seekers carry. Survivors often suffer from guilt and trauma. The counseling sessions and the pained expressions as they look at family photos reveal the psychological battles they continue to fight. The journey to freedom is long and arduous. It is a seemingly endless road where each step forward is a testament to their unyielding determination. It can take months or even years to reach a safe country. The maps, the various modes of transportation, all signify the complexity and length of their journey. Defectors must travel in secret, relying on the kindness of strangers. The hidden compartments in trucks and the rare moments of kindness from strangers are their lifelines. They risk arrest and repatriation at every step. The threat of being captured and sent back looms large, with handcuffs symbolizing the ever-present danger. Even if they reach safety, their ordeal is not over. The relief on their faces is often overshadowed by exhaustion as they arrive at refugee camps. They face the daunting task of rebuilding their lives in a new country. The paperwork, the job interviews, all mark the beginning of a new, challenging chapter. They must learn a new language, culture, and way of life. The language classes and the bustling city streets are just the start of their integration into a new society, where every day is a step towards a hopeful future. Despite the risks, thousands of North Koreans have risked everything to escape. Their stories are a testament to the human spirit's resilience. They offer a glimpse into the horrors they left behind. One defector, Shin Dong-hyuk, spent 23 years in a North Korean labor camp. He was born there after his parents were imprisoned. He witnessed unimaginable cruelty and brutality. Another defector, Ji Seong-ho, lost his leg and hand in a train accident as a teenager. He was forced to work as a coal miner despite his injuries. He escaped to China by crawling across the border. These stories are just a small sample of the thousands of North Koreans who have escaped. They highlight the desperation that drives people to risk everything for a chance at freedom. The journey to freedom often begins with a desperate dash across the border. Defectors must evade watchful guards and navigate treacherous terrain. Many rely on brokers, who guide them through the Underground Railroad. China is often the first stop for those fleeing North Korea, but it is not a safe haven. Chinese authorities actively hunt down North Korean refugees. They send them back to face certain punishment. From China, defectors must make their way to Southeast Asia. They travel through Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand. They hope to reach an embassy or consulate where they can claim asylum. The journey is fraught with danger. Defectors face robbery, extortion, and human trafficking. They must constantly be on guard, never knowing who to trust. To maintain its grip on power, the North Korean government relies heavily on propaganda. State-controlled media permeates every aspect of life. It bombards citizens with a constant stream of misinformation. North Koreans are told they live in the greatest country on earth. They are taught to revere their leaders as gods. The outside world is portrayed as a dangerous and hostile place. This relentless propaganda warps people's perceptions of reality. It creates a climate of fear and isolation. It makes it difficult for citizens to even imagine a life outside of North Korea. The internet and social media are tightly controlled. Access to outside information is extremely limited. This ensures that the regime's narrative remains unchallenged. Despite the challenges, there is a glimmer of hope. International pressure is mounting on the North Korean regime. Organizations like Liberty in North Korea are working tirelessly to raise awareness. More importantly, the stories of defectors are getting out. Their courage and resilience inspire others. They provide a beacon of hope for those trapped inside North Korea. The road to freedom may be long and arduous, but the human spirit's desire for liberty cannot be extinguished. One day, the people of North Korea will be free. The world must continue to shine a light on the plight of North Koreans. We must support those who risk everything for a chance at a better life. Freedom is a precious gift, and we must never take it for granted.